Hi friends, Kansi here from atop Serenity Hill, back with another video with my junk journal for Junk Journal January, and it is getting super chunky, as you can see. So we are into the next set of prompts, which are, well, there's going to be 3 for today, which is line, modern, and movement. The line automatically popped in my head. It was like, woohoo, got that. Movement did too, and you might be surprised why. And then modern stuck me a little bit, but because we're in a junk journal, a lot of people do vintagey, lots of vintagey style. My God, I can't say that. But mine is kind of a mix of, I guess, modern, vintage, modern, vintage. I'm taking it in that respect anyway. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to work, as I like to do, bouncing around a little bit. But I have a page I want to work on. I have a couple pages I'm going to work on. So this is the very back of this little fold out for the second signature. And this is an envelope that I did when I did the envelope section way back at the beginning. And I don't particularly, as much as I use book paper, this isn't really speaking to me. So here's where I'm going to go with today. The first section I have for you today. That is, here's a bunch of stuff. So the first word in the prompts was line. And I knew that I had created this paper, this coffee dyed paper at some point. I have a coffee dyed paper video below. This was not created during that. It was created during a different time, but similar idea. But this was done where it got dried on top of a cooling rack. So it made lines in the paper. And so I knew that I had some of this in there. And then I loved this section. This is what's left of that piece. And I thought, well, that could be kind of fun just to glue down and take up this book paper, which is not thrilling me. I mean, there's so much you could do with it, honestly, let's be clear. But I just wanted to cover it. And that takes up the line part, okay? And so then I was like, well, that's great. I still have this. So a couple things popped in that I was going through some stickers, and I have this super cute raccoon sticker where all the color matches. And I also love this is really bright and modern. I mean, this is a modern sticker. It's not looking vintagey. And I love that it ties these two pieces together with this like vintagey looking piece in the center. So I'm going to use this on this section because it's super cute. And also I have a quote that I found. And then the other sticker that I ended up with was this one, which is what's left over from this, okay, my fold out page of Tell a Story. And so again, with the cohesive, like, can I take an element and use it in other places so that when I or someone else were to flip through this journal, it would feel tied together? Because I don't always care about that, but every once in a while, the pieces have been coming together that are allowing me to tie this journal together in little surprising ways. I think it's the surprise element of tying it together as opposed to the very deliberate way of tying it together. So, and then this paper, if I'm being, thinking it through, starts tying back to the fact that there's coffee dyed paper in the middle of my journal, okay? So I thought this would be fun to glue down. And again, I found a little quote. So it's very modern. It's like a shiny sticker. It's from the Dollar Tree. So it's of our time, where we are right now. And we'll see if I want to add this in. I'm going to glue this down first and see. So that's one section. And then the last thing was, well, now I have a pocket. And here I am. What could I do with that pocket? And I have this printable, which I've had for so long from another artist. It's not mine. I think it's Francesca Nunez I cannot be sure because I've had it for so long. But again, the colors go, it ties everything, all of this together. It even ties this, the little map washi tape that I made. But it's just on paper. And so I thought, well, why not add some more lined paper? So I'm going to glue it to the back of this, which is like a off print of a printable I sell, an off print. It just didn't print right because of my ink cartridge. So, and my Etsy store, by the way, is below, and I sell printable journals that this is included in, if you're interested. So I thought that would be fun. I'll glue them together so it makes it a little bit thicker. And then I have a tag, a journaling tag to add in here. I've been adding a lot of journaling spaces to this journal. Journaling spaces, this journal. I feel like I'll probably end up saying journal 20 times. Where I'm going to go back through and kind of use as my thoughts for how this process was, because this is the deepest I have really shared a journal other than in my membership on YouTube, is to really deep dive into a single journal in a month. So, and by the way, I do have a membership. If you're interested, that is below too. I would love if you would, check it out and maybe join the waiting list. It will open in mid-March for this year. So anyway, the journaling spots will get me to kind of reflect on how much fun this was to share with you. I hope you're having fun if you've been following along. All right, so let me put this all together. I don't think I'm going to talk while I do it. I'm going to put this together, and then I have a couple more things to show you as far as ideas for you for line movement and modern. All right. Okay, so spread number 1, or page number 1, or section number 1, however you would like to call it, is complete for now. This feels done. This definitely feels done. I love the simplicity of it. I'm using the other thing that made me think about this sticker was the background on here, the gold green that was part of this folder. it was already there, so I just added to it. So I don't have to go crazy. I don't have to add all these things to the page in order to make it fun. It can just be that this is a striped little envelope and it has a sticker of this super cute raccoon with wings. It says, don't forget to fly. Love it. Very simple, okay? And without, I actually didn't think about this, but this ties to this color and this ties to this color. Well, that was a lovely surprise. And I also have a little bit of zhuzh coming out of the top now, you know, something fun to hang out. So I could still put something here if I want to. I could use it as journaling space. I can, you know, just leave it as it is because it's beautiful as it is. I could trace this with colored pencils or a Sharpie because it's a mandala. I love mandalas. So could I use this as a doodling space? So lots of things to think about, but I don't have to make that decision right now. I'm good with how it is just like this, okay? And maybe another quote or something will pop up, you know, like every once in a while a quote or a poem or a line of song will pop into my head or come across like something in a graphic on Instagram or, you know, all those places. I collect a lot of stuff like that in a, you know, in a box. And so maybe something will come up that I would like to add here, okay? So the other line movement I wanted to share was, again, kind of just prepping some pages. So, you know, as I've talked about that, like, do I want to prep pages? I'm just going to fold this in so it's just not so distracting. Do I want to prep some pages as I go? And I talked about this in the last video about bouncing around in the journal and not necessarily finishing a spread. But I spent a good part of this morning going through my supplies and seeing what was talking to me and looking at the prompts that were coming up and kind of just playing in my own stuff and to see what would spark an idea. And so this paper goes back to the word lined. It is lined paper, okay? It also consists of lots of wiggly, loose lines, very organic lines that were done with shaving cream marbling. And then I found this in my stash. It was some printmaking I did with pine needles where I put black paint on it and this just smushed it between a couple pieces of deli paper. And this is lines. And this is also the same idea. It was like some grasses that I just put black paint on and smushed between some deli paper. You can see they are mirror images because they were smushed together. And I thought, well, this is a great contrast to this page, these black. So I don't know what I'll put on this page. Nothing else is coming to mind right now. But I want to cut out, and actually I'm going to rip it. I'm going to rip this out and I'm going to glue it down to the page. Again, I don't know where this page is going to go. I'm not sure. Am I done? Maybe. Is it just going to be a journaling page? Maybe. You know, part of this, I go back and forth with journaling a lot. Journaling, by journaling, I mean word journaling. And sometimes I go through phases where I'm like, write a ton. And then I go through phases where all I want to do is just glue stuff down. That's how I want to talk. I don't want to talk with words. I want to talk with images. And so this journal is, as I'm making it over this month, is including a lot of blank spaces that I keep talking about. Journaling, journaling, journaling. So it's possible that I won't finish this journal in January necessarily, but I will have decorated this journal to then use as a writing journal for the month of February. So it's almost like I'm prepping the journal for journaling as opposed to finishing it, okay? And I hope that made sense. If you do journaling and combine your art journaling with written journaling, you might understand a little more. I'm not a big fan of going to just a white lined page. It's kind of bleh to me. Oh my God, I love that. Okay, so I'm also, now that I've got this, I'm like, how would these look? So let's glue some of them down. Okay, so the other thing as I was gluing these down that I wanted to point out is that I technically haven't used the word movement yet. You could say that, you know, here's how I want you to think about prompts, because prompts can be, they don't have to be very literal, okay? This raccoon has wings, movement. The flowers, I mean the foliage are in different directions. They have movement, okay? So you don't have to be super literal about the movement. When I put these down, I realized that they're going in different directions. They have movement. They were actual nature that moved and swayed with the wind. So how the prompt is interpreted to you can be very personal. It can also just be very abstract, okay? How are you thinking about movement? When I went for a walk and these were, you know, moving in the wind, that counts as movement to me, okay? So the last idea I had, let me fold this up and we'll flip to the front. As far as movement is, I'm going to use, I think I'm using this page. Am I using this page? Yeah. I tried to plan this a little bit ahead of time. So when the word movement first popped in my head, music popped in my head because music has movements in it. And I actually Googled it, like, what is a movement in music, to make sure that I was thinking that through. And it's just a section of music. And so this piece of paper covers movement, music, lines, the lines in the music and all this lines here, and the word modern. The reason being is that it is a modern piece of vintage. It's like fake vintage, faux vintage, but it is a modern piece of paper that came as a this actually came wrapped, something I bought. This was the wrapping, people. Do you know how excited I was when I opened it and was like, this is the wrapping paper? Okay. So, you know, this covers all three prompts in one thing. Boom, done. And so this page in my journal is just, again, it was a junk journal page, a junk piece of magazine. It's the back of my mac and cheese, which, delightful. And it's boring. It's just type. It doesn't, you know, it's not doing anything to me. So I'm going to glue this down as a better representation of what I'm doing with the prompts in this page. And then I'm going to add another interpretation of movement, which is butterflies. So these are butterflies which move. And so I'm going to see if I can just add this piece to this. And is it good? Is it done? I don't know, but we're going to find out, okay? So the first thing I have to do is I would like these flowers. So I kind of need to cut this. And you notice I'm not using a paper cutter. You can, if you need it to be super straight for yourself. I'm just kind of winging this because, like I keep repeating during these videos, we have labeled this a junk journal. If you start going into perfectionism while you are making a junk journal, you are missing the point. Okay, so that's that. I also love that. I think I would like it. I'm going to show you. I tried this out before, but I like that this color and this color coordinate. So I want to rip it. I know this is going to glue up against that. I want to rip it so that I can see this from the other side. I'm going to try not to rip it just in the air. And wave it like my hands. Wave my hair. I feel like I have to burst into song. What is it? Wave your hands in the air like you just don't care. Okay, so then I'm going to glue this down, and then I like that now I can peek. This is a pretty piece against the macaroni. Okay, so let me glue this down. Okay, so then this is really beautiful because it's, excuse me, the macaroni and cheese, the music paper against the butterflies. And so it almost gives like a nice, really beautiful transition between the three and looking out into the map. It's super interesting. It's lots to look at. It's not, straight edges where the macaroni and cheese was against this black. Now I've got this transition without realizing it. And again, I was just playing with it. Just see what happens. Let's glue it down. I like it against this. And then it became, I like the music paper sticking out from the mac and cheese. But then it created a transition between this and the mac and cheese, which is delightful. All right. And then this page is pretty all by itself. However, I've got my butterflies here. And I want to see what that does. And maybe after that, all it needs is some words or a quote. And I'm stressing this time in this video the idea that spreads don't have to be this huge amount of work. They don't have to be all these different elements, and nothing says you can't have, 20 different layers in a spread. But nothing also says that you can't take a flyer from your local book club, fold it in half, make a page, and say, you know what? I love it. Great memory, not touching it. That's my spread. Okay? There are no rules. I feel like that's what I need to find as the quote for today. There are no rules. There's just experimentation and play and curiosity and just joy and delight in the fact that we're just ripping paper and gluing it down. Be really clear about that for yourself, that this is ripping paper and gluing it down. Fun. Ooh, I love this, so I could see the music notes. If I glued it here and it stuck out, what would I think? No, I would not like that. So what I will do is glue it so that it goes onto this page a little bit. All right, so this is glued down. It runs onto this page. Butterflies here. Whoops, butterflies here, butterflies here. Woohoo! And I have one butterfly left in this little piece that was left over for me punching out some butterflies. And I just feel the urge, people, to glue it on this page. Yeah. Why? I don't know. Probably because it's one butterfly left. I want to use it. I put some butterfly up on here, so why not continue? And there are, I'll also rip this. So give me a hot minute to glue it down. Okay, across the page. Okay, I don't know, maybe I'll put something else here, something else might pop up that gives me an idea later. So, but these are my ideas for you for how to pull line movement, Line, movement, modern. Movement, the butterflies are movement, not glued down well. Needs more glue. Of course, letting things sit would be helpful. All right, and then we've got our other section where we've got lines, modern, and if you think about it, you could make the argument for movement, wings, foliage, okay? And then we've got lines, modern. It's like a black print, okay, that I did recently. That is modern. It's in this time. And then movement, foliage, all right? And then I have all these other little, sections that I can play with if I want to. There's nothing says that this is done. I think I might need a quote for it. Maybe I'll look for one. Let's look and see if something... Oh, here it is. There is beauty in simplicity. So exactly what we're talking about today. Keep it simple. Keep your spreads simple. Keep your spreads simple, because there's beauty in simplicity. Couldn't have ended that better if I tried. All right, friends, there you have it for today. If you are new here, please subscribe. I would love that. And if you have been following along this journey, thank you. I enjoy that you are here. And for all those that makes comments, thank you so much. They make my day. And I will see you all in another video. We're almost done with Junk Journal January. A few more prompts to do, and then we will have a flip through video of what I have. All right. See you soon.